So good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy beginning of the Memorial Day weekend. So hope you have some lovely things planned or not, or just relaxing would be great for me as far as I'm concerned. So welcome. This is a 1-hour gentle Kripalu yoga class. I'm Judith. Welcome. If you're new today, welcome. And of course, all of you faithful, as usual, welcome. So what we use for this class would be a yoga mat. If you don't have a mat, you can fold a beach towel or a blanket and put it, I would say, on a carpeted surface, not a hard surface like tile or wood, because it will be quite painful and the joints will complain, you see. Yoga blocks are nice to have. These are the styrofoam version. If you don't have blocks, you could substitute with a couple of canned goods of equal size and weight, and maybe some washcloths to soften for your hands be placed on those cans. Here's a yoga strap. If you don't have the yoga strap, this is really easy to substitute with a long, skinny scarf or a belt or a dog leash or a bathrobe tie. Optional items would be hand weights. If you happen to have a set of 1-pounders or 2-pounders and would like to add them in for challenge, that's fine. I would recommend nothing heavier than 2 pounds. And then last but not least, the chair. This is a nice standard folding chair. It's got wide leg base, so it's nice and stable if you start pressing on it. And no wheels, definitely, and preferably no arms, because sometimes we move from side to side. And if you're new, we do go down on the earth in this class, so you can use the chair to help yourself get down on the mat and get back up off of the mat. So approach the chair seat. Most of the weight will go in the arms, about halfway along the edge of the chair seat. Shift the weight to one leg, float one knee down, second knee joins it. You're on the earth. To get back up, same idea, either hands on the chair side of the chair seat. Maybe the forearms want to come on the seat itself. If you need to assist a leg forward, tuck those back toes. Again, the weight goes in the arms. Inhale, lift the bum, 1 foot under the seat, second foot under the seat, and you can use the back of the chair to help slowly rise up. So you don't get the head rush, you don't get dizzy, we don't want anyone fainting, passing out, etc. So I can answer questions at the end of class. So let's just get started today. Let's take the feet a little bit wider than shoulders. We'll just start swinging some arms. We'll do a gentle warm up here. So the arms are moving like empty coat sleeves or wet spaghetti noodles. And you can give yourself a little tap here right under the collarbone, either with a soft fist or with the heel of the hand. And the idea is to shift the weight side to side as you twist and look over the shoulder to the wall behind you. So as you tap below the collarbone, that's the front point of the lung point in reflexology, keeping the lungs open and clear as best we can for 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep twisting. And now we're going to tap on the torso in the front. The back hand will tap up by the kidneys, which are a little bit higher. They're up just where with the collarbone, not the collarbones, the tips of your shoulders and your ribs meet. It's up higher. There we go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, the kidneys are underneath the shoulder blades. That was the word I was searching for. And now we're going to slowly de-escalate as we come back to stillness. Very nice and easy. Let's just start. We can take the 4 fingers together with your thumb, make little bird beak hands. We're going to start tapping right here in the center of the chest. So we're tapping on the thymus. And the thymus is responsible for immunity and probably for a lot of other things. We're going to go up and down the torso, just waking things up here. If you feel groggy when you wake up in the morning, you can do some tapping. That would definitely, I think, assist in helping to wake you up. So now from here, we're going to stay in the center. You're going to extend the right arm, and either with your bird beak hands or the flat of the fingers, let's start tapping down the inside of that right arm. You're going to flip the right arm and tap up the outside of the arm. You're going to spend some time tapping at the shoulder and neck. You're going to tap under the armpit for the right side here. And we'll do it 2 more times. So we'll go down the inside of the arm, tapping the yin meridian, flip the arm over, tap the outside of the arm, the yang meridian, tapping on the shoulder and the neck. Don't forget the armpit. It's a nice place that the lymph likes to reside. Let's go down 1 more time, the inside of the arm, back up the outside of the arm. Ooh, this feels good. Don't forget your neck and shoulder. Don't forget your armpit. Let's return to neck and shoulder here. And now you can just stop the tapping, but just sort of dig either the fingertips or the knuckles into that meaty muscle right there on the shoulder girdle. That's a spot that gets nice and tight from slumping over computers and steering wheels, etc. So give yourself a nice massage there. You're going to take your left hand now, the 4 fingers are going to wrap around the outside of the right neck, the right side of the neck. You drag the fingers to the left and the face and the neck turn to the right. So we're giving ourselves a little neck massage here, drawing the fingers along the right side of the neck. You pull the fingers to the left, the face turns to the right. That's two more times here, just like this. Oh, sighing, moaning, groaning is fine because we're all muted. Very nicely. There we go. And then just shake that out. Let's return to the tapping in the center of the chest. Maybe going up and down the torso. Waking yourself up, stimulating those cells, those organs into functioning. Let's go ahead now to the left arm and come down the inside, the yin meridian of the left arm. Flip the arm coming up the right side, the outside of the arm, the yang meridian. Tapping on the neck and shoulder. Don't forget the armpit. 2 more times, passing down the inside, the yin meridian. Flip the arm, tapping on the outside, the yang meridian. Tapping on the neck and shoulder, yes. Oof. And then the armpit. And one last time, going down the inside of the left arm, yin, opposite, up the outside, the yang meridian. Tapping on the neck and shoulder, tapping on the armpit. And now let's return to that shoulder where you can stop the tapping, but start using the fingers, maybe the knuckles, to dig into that meaty muscle there that's attached to the shoulder girdle. That gets nice and tight, nice and concrete-like. And then you're gonna bring that massage to stillness. You're taking the 4 fingers of the right hand, wrapping it around the left side of the neck. Now the hand drags to the right as the face turns to the left. I'm going to do this 3 or 4 times just to loosen those neck muscles. This would be useful if you slept on the neck in a funny way and you have a crick in your neck. Pressing out some of that tension. One last time. Very nice. Nice and easy. Let's shake it out. Now, if you have a block, grab it. If you don't, you're going to energetically imagine you have a block in between your legs, all right? So I'm taking this block and I'm squeezing and placing the block just above the knees, so it's the soft part of the thighs. So you're going to be squeezing those thighs. And if you don't have a strap, you can just use your arms as such, all right? So if you have a strap, fold it in half. Try not to hit yourself in the face with the buckle. I've done that several times. It's not very pleasant. Okay, so this folded in half, you're gonna stretch the strap out so that it's nice and taut. It's like you're trying to break the strap. We're gonna lift up and then we're gonna place it down. So it's inhale, lift, squeezing thighs as well. Exhale as you bring it down. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you press, squeeze those thighs. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Opening up the chest and shoulders. Let's re-elevate the arms. Now, keeping the chest square to the front of your space, tilt to the right. Try to break the strap for 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center, tilting over to the left. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come back to center. And now at your own pace, just moving from side to side. Try not to race through it. See if you can confine the movement to the upper body. The lower body is going to be still. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice, very nice. And then coming slowly down in front of the body. No rushing. Let's shake out the shoulders. Go ahead and move the strap and the block rather. And let's come to a nice wide stance with the legs. We're going to open up the hip crease, stimulate the legs. So the toes point out 30 to 45. Knees always track over toes. Torso stays upright. So it's inhale, big squat. Exhale, straighten the legs. Inhale, squatting. Exhale, straightening. We'll do 8 or as many as you can manage. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's stay down on 1. Little pumps. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's stay down on 1. Let's tilt the torso forward. So crown of head still lines up with tailbone, but now the torso is parallel with the floor. You're going to migrate your right shoulder over to the left knee. It won't get there, but that's the idea. And you're twisting, looking over the shoulder to the wall behind you. In the meantime, the right hand is going to press into the right thigh. The right thigh will press into the right hand. So an isometric press going on the right and a twist on the left for 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back through center. Left shoulder migrates over to right knee. Meanwhile, the left hand presses into the left thigh. The left thigh presses into the left hand. You're looking over the right shoulder to the wall behind. Abdominals are engaged for 4, 3, 2, 1. And now keeping this torso parallel to the earth, moving the shoulders side to side at your own rhythm, your own pace. So you're moving left to right, right to left, giving a nice twist to the spine. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. If you've got a block in front of you and would like to place your hands there, that's an option. Or the hands can rest on the mat. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten as you bow to your mat. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. We'll do 2 more like this. And let's stay in this wide leg forward fold and shake the head yes. Shake the head no. Maybe some Mr. Ed lips, some horse lips. And maybe here you'd like to sway side to side. I'm interlacing fingers and the arms are straight. I'm just sweeping the arms from side to side for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then coming back to center. And we heel toe the feet together or step the feet together. I'll do this in profile so you can see. Now we're in a straight leg forward fold. Hands will rest on the ankles. You'll do a series of flat back lifts. Hands drag along the shins. Inhale, flat back lift, shoulders drop away from ears, belly is engaged. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, forward fold. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And let's float the hands up to the thighs. Let's stack the bones, stack the bones, stack the bones. Roll the shoulders once you get up to standing. And then we're going to return to slightly bent knees. The torso is 30 degrees forward. We'll do a standing cat-cow. Usually we do it on our hands and knees. We'll do it standing today. So you're going to drop the belly, spread the sits bones wide. Exhale, arch and squeeze, navel to spine like a Halloween cat. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Oh. Again, finding your own rhythm, your own pace. A few more just like this, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling, then standing up, slowly rolling back up to standing, roll the shoulders. Very, very nice. I'm going to move the chair away for now. I'm going to keep the block there just in case I might want to use it. And now we're going to come to that narrow end of your mat. And we're going to do a giant step forward with the right foot. I'm not mirroring you, all right? So right foot forward, left foot back. And we've got both sets of toes pointing forward. We're going to lift the back heel. Inhale, lift, exhale, press. Inhale, lift, exhale, press for 4, 3, 2, 1. That back left heel relifts. Now both legs are going to bend. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten for 4, 3, 2. Stay down on 1. Little pumps. Torso is upright here. Nice and gentle for 4, 3, 2, 1. Restraighten the legs. Back left heel comes down. Left back heel angles out maybe about 10 degrees. But the pelvis will stay square to the front of your space. So we'll take one arm forward, and then other arm joins it, coming into a warrior position, warrior 1, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying right here. One arm swings back. Inhale, exhale. Other arm swings back. Inhale, exhale. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Going maybe a little bit farther, maybe not, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Right leg straightens. The two arms divide, so the right arm is forward, the left arm is back. Now imagine that body is encased between two planes of glass, so you're equally balanced on either side. Let's move it forward, bend the knee, move it back. It's like you're sliding your rib cage forward and back. The front knee bends, the left knee does not. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Now, rebending that front right knee, you're going to place that forearm there as the left arm comes over. This is Dancing Warrior coming back up. That back hand slides down the back of the body. The top arm reaches the side wall. This is my injured side, so bring it on over. And then exhaling and inhaling. Moving forward, moving back. Balance challenge for sure. Let's do 2 more like this. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling And exhaling back to warrior two. Legs go straight. Both sets of toes face the long edge of the mat. From here with a flat back, going forward, forward, forward. Hands could grab ankles as you try to draw the chest through the legs, but you're not going to force or jam any of this. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Left hand grabs outside of right ankle. I'm not mirroring you. Left hand grabs outside of right ankle. Top right arm might float straight up to sky if that's too much. Rest the hand on the sacrum. Otherwise, you're pressing the chest close to the top of the right thigh. And we're going to start circling this straight arm for 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Top arm floats down, coming back to center. Left hand grabs outside, right hand grabs outside of left ankle. Right hand grabs outside of left ankle. Top left arm goes straight up into the air, or hand rests on sacrum. And straight arm can circle. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Top arm comes down. Let's pause here for 4 more breaths. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Hello, hamstrings. And then coming on up, slowly, slowly. Hands can rest on thighs. Back is flat as you rise up very slowly to avoid the head rush. Any dizziness, roll the shoulders. Heel toe the feet together or step the feet together. And now we'll do the other side. So this time it's left foot forward, right foot back. Both sets of toes point forward. Make sure the legs are wide enough so you feel stable. So lifting the back right heel. Inhale, lift, exhale, press. Inhale, lift, exhale, press. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Relifting back right heel. Both legs bend, but the torso stays upright. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. We'll do 4, 3, 2, stay down on 1, little pumps. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Re-straighten. Right foot returns to the earth. The heel comes down. Those toes point out maybe about 10 degrees, but the pelvis is going to be squared to the front of your mat. So we're going to move into warrior one with a little tilt forward here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying right here. Inhale, arm swings back, other arm swings back. We'll do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then coming back, straightening that front leg. The two arms now split. So the left palm is in front. You're gazing down the middle finger of the left hand. The right arm is stretched behind. The body as though you're pressed between 2 panes of glass. So it's forward and back, forward and back. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Back to center. Left leg straightens. Oh no, we have to do the dancing warrior. Sorry. Left forearm on left thigh. Right arm comes over. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. We'll just do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Now the two legs straighten, the toes face that long end of the mat, the arms extended, 5-pointed star right here. Big full breath, inhale, exhale, going forward, 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 shaking the head yes, shaking the head no. And this time we're going to heel toe the feet together or step the feet together. And you're going to grab opposite elbows behind the backs of the thighs, if that's available. So both sets of toes point forward. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten the legs. The arms will allow the chest to possibly get closer to those thighs. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then unwinding the arms, hands rest on thighs. With a flat back, stack the bones, coming to standing. One more time, rolling the shoulders. Oh, this should feel good. And then just shaking out the body. If you're using blocks, take the blocks to the narrow end of the mat. I'm going to go down on the earth. So if you have anxiety, use the chair to get down on the earth. We're going to go from here to a forward fold and then into a down dog. So if down dog is unavailable, just stand in a forward fold and then find your way to the earth as best you can. All right. So coming close to that short end of the mat, inhale up, exhale, swan dive forward, come right back up. Inhale up, exhale forward. So 2 more of these, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. Let's stay over. Fingers can touch the mat. Maybe they want to come to touch the blocks, but the hands don't reach the mat. And then we're going to micro bend the knees left and right for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Coming back to neutral. Hands rest on low blocks or mat as you step back into downward facing dog. So now you're trying to press the chest close to the thighs. You're going to bicycle pedal your heels, wag your dog tail. Huge stretch for the back body. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Left foot comes into the center. Float the right leg up in the air. Little pumps with the standing leg. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Right leg comes back down. Right foot comes in the center of the mat. Lift the left leg. Pump the standing leg. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Left foot comes back down. Both knees float down to the mat. Big toes together, knees wide apart. Press into child pose. Very nice. So I seem to be missing my towel today, so I'm pressing my hands behind my thighs so I can get my bum closer to the heels. Breathing for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Let's come on up to neutral table here. If you want to pad your knees with an extra blanket or so, here's an opportunity. Otherwise, let's just come with hips over knees, shoulders over elbows, elbows over wrists, and fingers are spread wide. Now, if you have pain in your hands and wrists, you can move them slightly farther forward. Let's start circling those hips. Big full breaths. And the belly is engaged, of course. Let's do 2 more in this direction. And then we'll circle in the other direction. Keeping those hips loose, open, flexible. A couple more in this way. And then just coming back to neutral. Let's do thread the needle. We haven't done that in a while. So you're back in your neutral table. You're going to extend the left arm. I'm not mirroring you. Inhale. Exhale, thread that left hand underneath the right armpit. The round part of the skull gently lands on the mat, maybe. We're going to make it an active thread the needle. Inhale, lift. Exhale, thread. Inhale, lift. Exhale, thread. Let's do 4 at your own pace. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Let's pause here in the thread. So you've got your round part of the skull on the mat. The left arm is stretching to the side wall. It's underneath the right armpit for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And winding out of that, coming back to neutral table, let's give the body a shake. Imagine you're just a dog that's just had your bath and you're shaking off all that water for 4, 3, 2, make it bigger, and 1. And then slowly coming back down. You're in neutral table. Right arm extends to the side. Inhale, and then exhale it underneath the left armpit. Inhale, lift. Exhale, thread. We'll do 4, 3, don't rush it. 2, and 1. We'll keep the arm threaded. Other side of that round part of the skull, rest gently on the mat. Please be careful with your neck as you're stretching those right fingers to the side wall for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Unthreading that arm. One more time. Let's do a few hip circles just to recalibrate in both directions. Just a couple. And then from here, let's come to sitting. Now here you may wish to sit on a folded blanket or towel. That's an option. Let's start with the soles of the feet together. And you're going to drag them close to your body. You might want to pull the flesh away from the sits bones, but you only go to your optimum stretch, not your maximum. And so what we're going to do is start sitting tall. You can tuck the elbows into the soft part of the thighs. Then we're going to rock side to side. Here again, opening up the pelvic region that gets really tight from sitting and driving and inactivity. It also gets tight if you do things like cycling or jogging. So this is sort of a counter stretch to that. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Back to center. Let's extend the right leg long. Now I am mirroring you. The sole of the left foot rests on the inside of that right thigh. And if that bent knee is floating in space, grab a block or a cushion just to cushion that bent knee so you're not gripping in your hip crease area. The right foot is going to stay flexed. And the torso will start forward, facing forward. Inhale up. And then exhale, tilting to the right. Bottom arm can rest on top of the leg, in front of the leg, or on a block in front of the leg. The top left arm is stretching. I'm modifying because I'm injured on the side. And we'll do it for 4, holding, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to center, top elbow bends. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press it towards your toes. Inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch the fingers towards your toes. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And let's stay over and then float the arm up, coming back to sitting. Now we're going to just angle the body maybe 10 degrees. So now you're facing the extended right leg. Inhale up. Exhale over, and you're going to grab whatever you can grab and try to draw the chest gently to the top of the right thigh. Right foot stays flexed for 4, 3, 2, 1. And staying right here, The right arm is going to wrap around the back of the body. It could rest at sacrum or perhaps slipping the fingers in opposite hip crease. Now you're looking over the right shoulder to the wall behind. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Unwinding that back arm, slowly elevating the torso. Just don't try to pop up. And then we're going to extend the left leg long, opposite side. The sole of the right foot can rest on the inside of the left thigh. If the right knee is hanging in space, prop it with a cushion or a block. The left foot will stay flexed throughout, and the torso stays forward for this first part. Inhale up, exhale over, to the left. The bottom arm can rest on top of the leg, in front of the leg, or on a block in front of the leg. The top arm stretches to the side wall. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Top elbow bends. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Oh, let's do 4. Really huge stretch for the side. 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then coming back, slowly let that arm resist the gravity. Don't just flop it down, please. And now we just turn about 10 degrees to the left. You're now facing your extended left leg. The foot is still flexed. Inhale up. Exhale over. Letting the hands rest either, if they could be on the mat, the floor. I've got my hands on the shin. And you're drawing the chest close to the top of the left thigh, but you're not going to force it. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying right here. Left arm wraps around the back body, either to sacrum or fingers might slip in the opposite hip crease. For 4, looking over your shoulder to the wall behind on the left. 3, 2, and 1. And then slowly unwinding out of your stretch here. Coming back upright slowly. Let's extend both legs out to the side. Again, you might want to pull flesh away from sits bones. Maybe using the fists to press yourself a little bit farther forward. Both feet are flexed. Inhale up. Exhale, hands land somewhere in front of you. Don't force anything. Just get to your optimum stretch. So now I'm pressing the palms into the earth. The fingers are spread wide. I'm trying my best to keep the back flat. And I'm making little micro movements here. It could be a static press for you. Little micro movements. You look pretty yummy on that low back. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then coming slowly to stillness, walk the hands back. Let's close the legs together. Oh, and shake them out. Ooh. Yeah, I felt those, let me tell you. So now keeping the legs straight. The hands could be in fists to help you sit upright, or they could be placed wherever it feels good. We're going to flex both feet. We're going to point both feet, flexing and pointing. While we flex and point, think about spreading the toes nice and wide, getting some blood flow into those tiny extremities. Maybe you want to add in ankle circles to the feet. That's an option. And if you're circling, you're going to circle both ways for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Now the legs come slightly farther apart, not too much. And here again, sitting upright, that's the challenge. Both feet externally rotate out. Come back to neutral. Internally rotate in. So you're flexing the feet at all times. They turn out and then they turn in. So we're turning that femur bone into the hip socket here. We're producing our own synovial fluid as we turn the legs. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Let's shake the legs out. Let's bend the right leg. And we'll just start by tapping the lower leg. Nice, firm taps, not a death press, just a nice, steady pressure. And when that feels complete, we move to the knee, but you're not going to tap on the knees. You're just going to caress the knee, all right? Little tiny taps maybe, but nothing violent, because those knees get nice and crabby without our help at all. So, all right. We don't want to pound on them. You can tap the thigh all the way around. And when that feels complete, you're going to take one of your hands behind the back of this right knee and start circling. This is where lymph dumps, and we're helping to move the lymph. The lymph doesn't have a pumping mechanism like the blood does. Heart pumps the blood. We pump the lymph, apparently. So, and then you're going to circle in the other direction. This is just one of the places that lymph dumps. There's a whole series of areas where it resides. And then when that feels complete, you're going to draw energy up the leg all the way into the torso 3 times. You can touch the leg or just hover close to the leg. It doesn't matter. Moving chi, moving energy up into the body, and then shaking that leg out. Shake it out. Nice. We go to the other leg. Let's do some tapping on the lower leg. And notice if this leg feels any different than the other leg. You're just making a little inventory. You're not judging yourself, and you're not competing with anybody or yourself even. When that feels complete, we're going to caress this kneecap. Send some love to your knees. Thank them for working. And then when that feels nice and warm and complete, then the thigh can get it. Should feel good. And then you're going to take one of your hands behind the back of the left knee and start circling there. Breathing, encouraging lymph to move. And then you're going to circle the other direction, nice and gentle. And then when that feels complete, starting at the ankle, drawing the energy up that left leg into the torso, either touching the leg or hovering close to the leg, doesn't matter. And then shaking the legs out, nice and easy. Let's face that narrow end of the mat. If you want to have blocks handy, props handy, have them nearby. And we'll bend the knees, feet and legs in parallel. Lift the chest, drop shoulders away. Inhale, chest goes through the knees. Exhale, squeeze it back, navel to spine. Inhale forward, exhale back. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's stay back. And if you have a strap, and I think only a strap will work for this, so you can watch if you're not using the strap. So I'm looping it around the balls of both feet. I'm wrapping it around both hands. So I have a nice steady grip. We're going to come back onto the tailbone. Maybe you can lift the legs here. Breathing, lift the chest for 4, 3, 2, 1. If you can stand for more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees. Feet come down. Lose the strap. Hope you enjoyed that one. All right, let's go ahead and draw the knees into the chest and then roll down onto that mat. And then maybe just rocking back and forth on this back body would feel delicious. Getting some self-massage going in the back body here. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice, back to center. Let's take both feet back to earth. The knees stay bent. The legs will stay in parallel. Let's draw the left thigh into the chest. I'm not mirroring you for this. And you can use a strap around the ball of the foot for this, or you could just use your hand, grabbing the inside or the outside of the left foot. The left bent knee angles out about 30 degrees. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, stretch the leg out to the side. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, stretch the leg. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Rebending. Oh, repositioning. That foot comes back down. Feet are in parallel. Feet are flat. And now we're going to draw the right thigh into the chest. You're going to angle that bent knee out about 30 degrees, and either with a strap around the ball of the foot here, or with the right hand grabbing the outside or the inside of the right foot. Right knee is bent. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten out to the side. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then rebend. And then re-angle the leg back to neutral. Let's take the feet mat width apart. Knees stay bent. Let's windshield wiper those knees side to side. Big full breaths here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Next time the knees drop to the left, leave them there. Arms could rest in T position on the earth. Bent knees drop to the left. Head and neck might want to look to the right. So now we're in a supine twist here. If it bothers the neck to look to the right, skip it. Don't do it. Just look at the ceiling. And I'm taking my right hip to pulse to where the wall meets the ceiling. Little tiny pulses with that right hip for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then coming back to center. Knees come back upright, face looks at the ceiling. A couple of windshield wipers to recalibrate. And the next time the knees drop to the right, leave them there. Maybe the head and neck wants to look to the left. If it bothers your neck to look to the left, just skip it. And now my left hip is going to pulse up to where the wall meets the ceiling. Little pulses here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then coming back to neutral again. Feet are still mat width apart. Crown of head still lines up with tailbone. You're going to windshield wiper just to recalibrate a tiny bit. Very nice. And then coming back to neutral. Let's go ahead and come onto the side body so that the bottom hip is the left hip. I'm not mirroring you. Rest your head on the upper arm or maybe on a cushion or a cushion on a block. You can decide. We're going to take the top right bent leg. We're going to grab the shin. You can use your hand or you could use a strap here as well. You can grab the shin, the ankle, or the top of this right foot. You're going to draw the thigh back behind you, but what you need to keep the hips stacked at the same time so you're not collapsing backward. So you're pressing the right hand into the right foot into the right hand for an isometric stretch for that thigh for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Replace that leg on top of the left as we started. One more thing, float the right leg up. The knee is bent. Now you're going to straighten the leg so that the leg is perpendicular to your body. Woo. So now we're going to swing the leg down. We're going to swing it up. Maybe you can touch your toes to your left fingertips. Maybe not. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Restack those legs. And all you need to do is roll onto your back body and then roll to the other side so that the bottom hip is the right hip. I'm grabbing a block to use as a fake pillow. And so you've got The hips and the legs stacked. Imagine there's a glass wall behind you, so you're not going to collapse backward. You start lifting that left straight bent leg. You're going to float it up, the left leg, the foot is flexed. And then from here, with either a strap or your hand, grab the shin, the ankle, or the top of the left foot, draw it back behind you, keeping those hips stacked as best you can. You're pressing the left foot into the left hand into the left foot for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Replace that leg on top of the right leg back to neutral. Refloat the top left leg. You're going to straighten the leg so the leg is perpendicular to your torso. You're going to swing that left leg, inhaling, maybe touching your toes to your right fingertips, maybe not, for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice, restacking, and then rolling onto the back body. One more time. And then you're going to find your way as you are ready, making any final movements to make you feel complete. And then arriving in Shavasana, classical Shavasana, resting pose, corpse pose, arms and legs 30 to 45 degrees, flat on the back. If you'd like to roll something under the knees to protect the back body, that's an option, a rolled towel or cushion perhaps. If flat on the back doesn't work, we can return to feet mat width apart, knock the knees together, restorative rest. Or if that isn't working, resting on one side, just as we were, stacking hips and legs, resting your head on the upper arm, or maybe a pillow in a block. Or maybe if you have an available wall, you can place your legs up the wall. Or sitting in a chair, feet flat, long spine as you sit on the chair seat. And then once you've organized your best version of Shavasana, allowing the eyes to drop closed, doing a gentle scan of the body, noticing any places where there's tension and breathing into those areas if any of those places remain. And then noticing a deep relaxation forming in the soles of the feet. Imagine you're placing those feet in an imaginary hot tub, our favorite friend. And from there, the warmth envelops the feet and the ankles, and then it moves into the low legs. And then it moves into the knees, permeating the complex structure of the knees. From there, it moves into the thighs, legs and feet becoming very heavy. And then it moves into the hips and torso. We'll stay down by the hips here, letting the buttocks relax, the low back release, the belly releases. And from the belly, it moves into the waist and the torso, enveloping the ribs, heart, lungs, liver, spleen, pancreas, colon, all the vital organs deeply relaxed. It moves into the chest and shoulders, rolls down both arms, all the way to the fingertips, all the way to the fingertips. It moves into the throat and neck, and then it envelops the head, all the way to the crown of the head. The back of the neck releases, the face and the jaw let go. The tongue lies at the bottom of the mouth, teeth slightly apart. Eyes sink deep into the skull, as though a white circle of healing light permeates every cell in the body. Noticing back body and front body, right side and left side. Noticing the whole body together. the whole body together, the whole body together. And here's a poem by my friend Kay Scott. It's called Topic of Conversation. Before Memorial Day, the wondering starts and the word goes around. I wonder if the peonies will be open by Monday, Mother says on Saturday as she vacuums. Think we'll have peonies for the grave, say the aunts as they fuss with their hair for Sunday Mass. And will the peonies be ready by then, do you think? The men wonder around among themselves, as if to hide the show of feeling in their voices. Peonies do not signify funerals. No. From light green bud to full open bloom, the burst of peonies signals spring and survival and honoring of ancestors and the history of life in the Midwest on Main Street or on the farm, no matter. Before hothouse blooms and flowers by wire, what you brought of blossoms to the tombstone was what you cut from the farmyard first thing in the morning, laden with last night's rain, no need to add water. Just wrap them up with an old Capper's farmer so they stay fresh for the cemetery. Before Memorial Day, we all wonder, will the peonies be ready? If you'd like to remain in Shavasana for as long as feels right, please feel free to stay right there. But if you're ready to meet the day, begin to bring some gentle movement to fingers and toes and arms and legs. And for those on the earth, drawing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a well-deserved hug, and then rolling onto your favorite side and pausing there for just a few breaths in embryo posture. And on the next inhale, keeping the eyes closed, press yourself up into a comfortable seated posture, rooting the sits bones down into the earth, drawing the crown of the head up into the sky, scanning the body for the effects of the practice, and thanking the body for all it does all day, every day, and bringing to mind one thing for which you are grateful. And on the next inhale, let's float the palms up overhead, hands meet in prayer, dropping down the midline, stopping at the heart, samastiti, this beating heart. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you stand in the light of your own true self. I salute the bright light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Jai Bhagwan.